Hey yo, what's going on everybody? It's Tylarious, aka Ty Killington. Yeah, man. Alright, today's video we're talking about the MonstroCiti. Yes, this is a new HSW, kind of a Monty Tech hybrid type kind of off-road vehicle. And to be fair, it's actually a pretty good off-road vehicle in its entirety. In this video, I'll be talking about the cosmetics, the performance, top speed, and around a track, and the defensive capability that it has with the Amani Tech, alright? The MonstroCiti is $1,485,000, so it's pretty expensive. Let's go ahead and get into the customization. Now, if you want to go ahead and start out at the agency so you can apply your Amani Tech, right now we're just kind of looking over the overall cosmetics, and there is a lot of good customization, which I think is important for any expensive vehicle. Now please pay attention to this. This particular cosmetic upgrade, the interior type, the racing kit, performance, or rally, do not put those on because they will not allow you to use any kind of weapons or throwables from inside the MonstroCiti. So do not upgrade the interior type if you want to have offensive capabilities, okay? Now with the Amani Tech, it does not have the armor plating, but it does have the remote control unit or the missile lock-on jammer upgrade. And we'll talk about the defensive armament here in just a moment, but it's just kind of, that's why I was saying it's kind of like a hybrid Amani Tech type kind of vehicle, right? Got some decent looking liveries right here, all designed to kind of give it that rally cross, kind of like Baja style look to the overall vehicle. You got some mud guards which look really nice right there as well. In addition to that, your different kind of color schemes. Of course, you got your primary, your secondary, crew emblem you can apply there if you would like to as well. Got several different roof options which look really cool. In addition to that, you have a cool skid plate option. I like to see that with off-road vehicles. It's very functional in real life. You got your snorkels that you can add on there, spare wheel, and you would think that the spare wheel would be the spoiler, but it's actually not, right? Now you got your suspension options, and remember, this is also a HSW vehicle, so you're going to be able to have HSW performance upgrades, which will kind of trump the standard upgrades as well. This is very important, okay? Add the window panels. Put the window panels on. They not only act as a spoiler, they make the vehicle much more bullet resistant. Now let's check out the HSW performance upgrades. Just to get in the door, you're looking at $1,053,550. So that $1.4 million vehicle just turned into a 2.4 plus, just to maximize the overall performance. Not to mention the Amani Tech upgrades you want to put on there and the rest of your HSW performance upgrades and standard customization. So we're talking a $3 million vehicle here. Okay, now you've got the HSW brakes you can apply. You have HSW engine tunes, which will apply and trump the rest. You'll have HSW hood option, which is kind of like that forged carbon look, right? You've got some HSW liveries to apply as well if you would like. Then you also have the HSW suspension. Now, you'll need the HSW suspension to get the best lap times. However, for off-road performance, you may want to revert back to stock suspension, and we'll look at that here in just a moment. And yes, it is all-wheel drive, very important for a off-road vehicle. I like that. Popping the doors looks really good as well. Let's go ahead and check out some of the performance, and it does not disappoint. Now, in comparison to the other HSW vehicles that we've tested, it's not as fast as those, but in relation to the off-road class, yes, the MonstroCiti is now the new top dog in the off-road class, coming in with a top speed of 122.94 miles per hour. And around a track, it's very good as well. I mean, it's very competitive. It's got decent handling. There is going to be a learning curve with this vehicle around a track. The brakes, even the HSW brakes, are not that good. And because the vehicle has such a short wheelbase, it can get away from you a little bit. You have to be careful with that. So keep that in mind. There will be a learning curve, and even in free mode, it tends to kind of just want to, as you're going real fast, it hits a little bump, you try and correct it, it ends up over-correcting itself. So that can be an issue, all right? Now, off-road, again, you need to get the suspension back to stock. It is capable. It's not the best off-road vehicle. It did conquer the rock wall, but after I had to raise the suspension back up and after a few tries, It does have good, just basic standard off-road water capability as well. The engine will eventually bog down and the vehicle will die out after spending enough time in the water. But it's really fun. This is actually a nice and decent off-road vehicle. I wish we had more options. I almost wish like there was like a 4x4 off-road Benny's variant, right, where we could put on bigger tires, bigger suspension, stuff like that. But it's actually really fun, not bad. One thing that absolutely pisses me off, I cannot stand this with Rockstar. You have the option to add all these cool rally off-road lights, but not all of them work, and that's the case with the MonstroCiti. This is a brand new, $3 million vehicle, 1.4 at minimum, and not even all the actual lights work on it. I can't stand it. I hate that. There's other vehicles like that, and there's other vehicles where all the lights work. I just don't know why there is so much inconsistency with this issue. It's a pet peeve of mine. It bugs me. Now, you do have remote control function with the vehicle, so you can definitely troll people with this. You can get people to get inside, and then you can remote detonate it and score a kill, as you see right here. So kind of dumb. Let's go ahead and go a bit further with the defensive capabilities. Now, this is strange. The MonstroCiti has no Amani-Tech armor plating upgrade available, right? Like some of the other vehicles do. But the other vehicles that have the armor plating, some of them, there is no small arms bullet resistance for the glass, like the driver, passenger side, rear, even the windshield. The MonstroCiti does though, right? So it's kind of the reverse. It's a little strange, a little weird. It takes 17 rounds to penetrate the glass with standard ammunition. However, the balance or the counter to that, FMJ rounds will penetrate on the very first shot. Okay, so keep that in mind. But you do have the rear panels, which make half of the vehicle totally bulletproof, which is really nice. And there's no weird open gaps or holes in the actual vehicle itself, like some of the other vehicles where you can score hits by shooting through the tail light or the headlight. So that's nice, right? Now, with the defensive capability in regard to explosive ammunition, it's hit or miss, quite literally. One RPG round will destroy it. However, you can withstand 3 Mark II rockets, which is important because even with the missile lock-on jammer, the vehicle has a higher profile, so you'd still be able to score hits with a Mark II just free firing. So you do have some defensive capability in that regard. And against explosive Mark II ammunition, 3 rounds before the vehicle will be destroyed. So a little bit of defensive capability with that right there. All right. So overall, the Miabatsu MonstroCiti is a good vehicle. Now, is this going to replace vehicles like the Mark II or the Sparrow for the money grind? No. It's more closely related to the other Amani-Tech vehicles like the Buffalo SDX, the Jubilee, stuff like that, and the Armored Kuruma. Now, in my opinion, the Armored Kuruma just simply is still the king for player versus enemy, going against NPCs, because it just has superior small arms defensive capability, and that's what you have to defend yourself against 99.9% of the time in player versus enemy, versing the NPC, right? But this vehicle is a good alternate to the Kuruma. It will complement that vehicle. So I absolutely do recommend you guys make a purchase on the MonstroCiti. It's a very fun vehicle. It has a lot of great attributes to it. I do like it. It's a little tricky to drive around. It's a little bit touchy with the handling, so there is a learning curve with that, and that does kind of hold it back a little bit, but it's still a lot of fun. All right, let me know what you guys think about the MonstroCiti in the comments down below. If you got any questions, leave them down below as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for the latest rules content in the game. Smash that like button. See you guys in the next one. All right, peace out. Yeah.